Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. 22 American states have sued US President Donald Trump. This is over his new order that blocks birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants. The order challenges the 14th Amendment of the US Constitution, which guarantees citizenship to anyone born in the country. All 22 states are led by the Democratic Party. They allege that Trump is overstepping his powers and violating the US Constitution. Trump has withdrawn former US National Security Advisor John Bolton's Secret Service protection, saying that a person can't have such protection for life. Bolton served in the White House during Trump's first term. He was given the protection after being targeted in an alleged Iranian assassination plot. India's External Affairs Minister S. Shanker met his US counterpart Marco Rubio in Washington. Both leaders exchanged views on regional and global issues in their first bilateral meeting. Taking to social media platform X, Jaishankar said that they also reviewed their country's bilateral partnership. After Donald Trump announced that he will impose an emergency on the US border with Mexico, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum asked citizens to remain calm. She said, and I quote, "It's important to always keep a cool head and refer to signed agreements beyond actual speeches." Greenland's Prime Minister Mute Egide said that they don't want to become Americans and that the Danish Autonomous Authority wants to take its own decisions. This follows US President Donald Trump's comments about taking control of Greenland. Elon Musk's effigy was hung upside down yesterday in Milan. The action was to protest Musk's controversial hand gestures during US President Donald Trump's inauguration. Netizens started comparing the gesture to a Nazi salute. The billionaire responded to the criticism by calling it a tired attack. The Taliban government said it released 2 American citizens from prison. In return, they received an Afghan fighter held in the US. The deal was brokered by Qatar and was accepted by former US President Joe Biden shortly before he left office. The Afghan national was convicted of narco-terrorism by a US court and was serving a life sentence in California. France has reportedly issued an arrest warrant against ousted Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The warrant is related to suspected complicity in war crimes. The French judiciary believes that Assad ordered a bombing attack in the Syrian city of Deraa in 2017 that killed a civilian. Ukraine launched a wave of drones towards Russia, targeting an oil depot and a military aircraft producing facility. Kyiv has targeted a Russian oil depot for the second time in less than a week. Meanwhile, Russia said it intercepted 55 Ukrainian drones. Qatar's Prime Minister has said that Israel and Hamas must show good faith for a lasting peace in Gaza. He added that a successful ceasefire could lead to a second deal and finally a permanent ceasefire. The Qatari Prime Minister made the statement at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Israel's military chief Herzi Halevi resigned on Tuesday, claiming responsibility over his alleged failure in stopping the Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. Halevi also acknowledged that not all of Israel's war goals had been met. The Israeli military launched an operation in the occupied West Bank's Jenin on Tuesday. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the mission aimed to eradicate terrorism in the area. He also described the operation as a strategy to counter Iran in the place where it sends its arms, in Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, or the West Bank. The Palestinian Health Ministry revealed that at least 10 people were killed. An attacker stabbed 5 people in Israel's Tel Aviv city yesterday before being shot dead. The police identified the attacker as a 28-year-old foreigner. They also assessed the area to rule out any additional attacker. Without claiming responsibility, Hamas described the attack as a heroic stabbing operation. The Yemen-based Houthi group has said that they will limit their attacks on ships in the Red Sea amid the ongoing ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The group said that they will not be attacking Israel-linked ships and will solely focus on Israeli vessels. The Houthis have been attacking Israel-linked vessels since November 2023. A devastating fire broke out at a hotel in Turkey, killing at least 76 people and injuring 51 others. The blaze, which reportedly began in the hotel's restaurant, quickly engulfed the 11-story building. 9 arrests have been made in connection with the tragedy. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan declared a national day of mourning today. Moving to climate news, Greenpeace activists bypassed heavy security at the World Economic Forum in Davos on Tuesday. They staged a dramatic protest demanding action on climate change. Disguised in formal attire, 3 protesters entered the venue and scaled a balcony. There they unveiled a banner reading, "Tax the super rich, fund a just and green future." This is just before the event's opening ceremony. Security later swiftly removed the protesters. New Orleans in the U.S. experienced an extraordinary snowfall with nearly 10 inches blanketing the city. Streets, rooftops, and historic landmarks were all covered in white. According to the U.S. Weather Department, this is by far the heaviest snowfall since the year 2009. A historic winter storm blanketed parts of Texas, including Houston, with record snowfall. The U.S. Gulf Coast storm affected 31 million people from Texas to Virginia. The storm left highways and streets in Houston eerily deserted as plows worked to clear the snow. The U.S. Weather Service confirmed that the storm broke century-old snowfall records in the region, marking one of the rarest winter weather events in Texas history. California's San Diego County faced multiple bushfires. Strong Santa Ana winds and dry weather fueled the rapid spread of the flames. A fire in Mission Valley erupted shortly after noon, prompting evacuations and road closures. Firefighters battled the flames as they moved uphill towards nearby residential complexes. Despite the intensity of both fires, no injuries were reported. Rescue teams in Indonesia are racing against time to locate survivors after a devastating landslide in central Java's Pekalongan region killed at least 18 people and left 9 others missing. Triggered by torrential rains, the disaster swept through Kasimpar, a village, burying homes, cars, and a coffee shop where people sought refuge from the storm. Around 200 people are working to clear access and locate the victims. In business and tech news, Donald Trump has announced a $500 billion in investment in artificial intelligence infrastructure. The project is being called Stargate. The initiative is led by OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, who will build data centers. The Stargate project aims to create over 10,000 jobs in the U.S. Trump has hailed this initiative as the largest AI infrastructure project in history. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission created a new task force for crypto rules. It aims to set clear guidelines instead of just penalties. The commissioner, Hester Pierce, a crypto supporter, leads the effort. The prices of Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency, rose after the announcement. Trump has said that he's open to the idea of Elon Musk buying TikTok if the tech billionaire wishes to. The U.S. wants TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance to sell or shut down operations in the U.S. Trump has signed an executive order extending delaying TikTok's ban by 75 days to find a solution. Reports say that ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok, plans to spend over $12 billion on AI in 2025. It will buy $5.5 billion worth of AI chips in China to strengthen its technology. Another $6.8 billion will go towards AI research and training overseas. The moves come as ByteDance faces pressure from the US to sell TikTok's US operations. Trump is planning to impose a 10% tariff on Chinese goods starting February 1st. The move is part of Trump's strategy to address trade issues. The tariff is linked to concerns over China's fentanyl trafficking to the US. Trump accuses China of sending the drug to Mexico and Canada, from where it enters the US. Indonesia has fined Google $12.4 million for unfair payment system rules. Google has been accused of forcing app developers to use its billing service. This service has higher fees than other payment options. The probe was launched by Indonesia's antitrust agency in the year 2022. Netflix shares jumped by more than 5% yesterday. It comes after the OTT platform announced adding a record 19 million subscribers in the holiday quarter. The surge in growth was largely driven by sporting events. Popular shows like Squid Game also contributed to a vast majority of the subscriber base. Netflix has said that it will raise its subscription fees in the US and Canada. Stripe has laid off 300 employees, which is 3.5% of its workforce. The job cuts mainly impact product, engineering and operation roles. The online payments platform said it is not slowing down hiring, though. It added that it wants to increase its workforce to 10,000 by the end of this year. Shares of 3M rose by more than 5% yesterday. The company reported better than expected fourth quarter results. 3M also projected a strong 2025 profit forecast. CEO Bill Brown, who took over less than a year ago, has focused on reducing supply chain costs. 3M is an American conglomerate known for making adhesive products and safety equipment. Reports say that Indonesia is close to inking a deal with Apple to lift the ban on the iPhone 16. The ban was due to Apple's violation of Indonesia's local manufacturing rules. Indonesia wants Apple smartwatches sold in the country to be made with 40% locally produced parts. The iPhone maker has no factories in the country but operates through local developers. Now on to sports news, starting with cricket. The Indian Cricket Board, or BCCI, has denied to print the name Pakistan on Team India's jerseys for the upcoming Champions Trophy. The global cricket body ICC has urged all the participating nations to comply by the rules. Starting next month, the ICC Champions Trophy is set to be held in Pakistan and Dubai under a hybrid model. In football, Liverpool beat the French club LOSC Lille 2-1 in a Champions League match. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah scored the opening goal in the 34th minute. Issa Monday's equaliser was denied due to a red card verdict. Minutes later, Lille's Jonathan David hit the back of the net to level the scoreline. Harvey Elliott scored the winner for Liverpool. Reports say that Manchester United boss Ruben Amarin damaged a big screen in the team's dressing room. The incident reportedly occurred after United lost 3-1 to Brighton over the weekend. This was United's 7th loss under Amarin's 15-match tenure. A teenager in Britain's Hertfordshire was arrested following the online abuse of Arsenal striker Kai Havertz and his wife. The 17-year-old was later released on bail. Earlier this month, after Arsenal's FA Cup loss to Manchester United, Havertz's wife Sophia reported online threats. This also included threats to the couple's unborn child. In tennis, men's world number 7 Novak Djokovic beat world number 4 Carlos Alcaraz in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. The 24-time Grand Slam champion beat Alcaraz 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4. After booking his place in the last 4 of the Australian Open, Djokovic said he feels more connected with his new coach, Andy Murray. The Serb will face Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals later this week. In women's singles, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka beat world number 32 Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the Australian Open quarterfinals. The defending champion beat her Russian opponent 6-2, 2-6, 6-3. In the semi-finals, Sabalenka will face Spain's Paula Badosa, and this will take place tomorrow. In mixed doubles, Rohan Bopanna and Shang Shui were beaten in the Australian Open quarterfinals. The Indo-Chinese pair lost to Australia's John Peers and Olivia Gadecki 6-2, 4-6, 9-11. This marks the end of India's campaign at the first Grand Slam of the season. In badminton, India's Tanisha Krusto and Ashwini Ponnappa won their first women's double game at the Indonesia Masters. The Indian pair beat their Thai opponents 21-6, 21-14 in the opening round. The duo are scheduled to play their round of 16 game tomorrow. The Indian men's doubles pair, Chirag Shetty and Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy, also began their Indonesia Masters campaign with a win. The duo beat Chinese Taipei's Lin Chunyi and Chen Shirei in straight sets in their round of 32 clash. The Indian pair will play their round of 16 game tomorrow. In Formula One, reports say that Lewis Hamilton will reunite with his longtime trainer, Angela Cullen. According to reports, the New Zealander has joined Hamilton's Project 44 company as a physio. Cullen worked with Hamilton for 6 of his 7 World Championship wins, but they had parted ways at the beginning of the 2023 season. Now moving to entertainment news, Justin Baldoni has released behind-the-scenes footage from It Ends With Us. This is to counter sexual harassment allegations by co-star Blake Lively. Lively's lawsuit accused Baldoni of inappropriate behavior during a slow dance sequence. She claims he made her uncomfortable with his actions and comments. Baldoni's legal team asserts that the video disproves those claims and showcases the entirety of the scene as filmed. The Berlin Film Festival will showcase A Letter to David. It's a documentary by Israeli director Tom Shoval, delving into his bond with David Cuneo. He is an Israeli actor abducted by Hamas during the attack on October 7, 2023. The festival co-director, Michael Stutz, describes the film as a tender and deeply personal lament. Cuneo's fate remains uncertain, but hopes have risen with a ceasefire agreement in place. Chris Brown has filed a $500 million lawsuit against Warner Brothers. He's alleging defamation in the docuseries Chris Brown, A History of Violence. Brown claims that the show falsely portrayed allegations of sexual assault against him, prioritizing sensationalism over factual accuracy. The lawsuit accuses the producers of using fabricated evidence to boost viewership. This has caused reputational damage to Brown, according to the lawsuit. Jeremy Renner, recovering from a life-altering snowplow accident, recently shared a selfie from a hyperbaric chamber. The Marvel star credited hyperbaric oxygen therapy for his remarkable recovery over the past 20 months. Renner reassured fans about the white tube seen in the photo, explaining its role in delivering essential oxygen. He described it as vital for health and longevity. Ryan Gosling is in negotiations to star in an upcoming Star Wars film directed by Sean Levy. The standalone project, disconnected from the Skywalker saga, is being developed with Jonathan Troper as the screenwriter. Details of the plot remain under wraps, but the collaboration marks Gosling's entry into the iconic franchise. Naomi Watts revealed that her career in Hollywood nearly ended before meeting director David Lynch. He cast her in the critically acclaimed Mulholland Drive. The film, which launched Watts into stardom, came after years of unsuccessful auditions and industry skepticism. Watts, reflecting on Lynch's passing, credited him with giving her a lifeline during her most desperate moments. Robert Pattinson, in a heartfelt interview, shared his joy over becoming a father with fiancée Suki Waterhouse. Reflecting on the unique experiences of parenthood, he expressed newfound appreciation for the smell of his daughter. The actor called it incredible and a revelation he never expected. Pattinson's daughter was born in March last year. ABC has renewed the procedural High Potential for a second season. This is after its successful debut in September. The show stars Caitlin Olsen as Morgan. She's a high IQ cleaning lady who becomes an unlikely crime-solving partner for the police. The show has drawn praise for its unique premise and Olsen's compelling performance. ABC has also renewed Abbott Elementary for a fifth season. This solidifies its status as a flagship series. The Quinta Brunson-led sitcom continues to charm audiences with its witty portrayal of teachers navigating the challenges of an underfunded school. Cineverse has announced a theatrical release for the Toxic Avenger reboot in 2025. Directed by Macon Blair, starring Peter Dinklage, the film reimagines the 1984 cult classic with fresh humor and action, while preserving its original spirit. Blair described the movie as a fun, rowdy experience designed for fans old and new. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.